What's going on YouTube? Urban Gun Reviews, and today on the channel, it's not a gun video per se, but it's more like a message that I want everybody to hear. Now, we're gonna skip the intro, we're just gonna jump right into it, but this video is basically just me piggybacking off some other videos that I've been seeing for a while, ever since the coronavirus hit. Now, when the coronavirus first hit, I did a video about how the virus has affected gun stores. It's affected me personally, it's affected gun stores, it affects every time I go to a gun store since the virus has hit. You know what I mean? It's been a different vibe in the gun store. It's been just totally different, a whole different experience. So when all this is over and said and done, I advise anybody who is new to guns or newer to guns, who bought a gun during the virus, if you're still interested in guns, go back to your local gun store, wherever you got your gun from, and experience it all over again. It's a different, total experience. But that's not even what the video is about, all right? The video is about, like I said, I watch Tactical Carl. Follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he got a YouTube or anything. And I watch Leon Nuer. You know what I mean? I check them out. I like their videos. You know what I mean? I support them dudes. And there's a whole bunch of other dudes, but I like them two dudes. And they, along with a lot of other YouTubers, hit on this specific topic. And the topic was to be your own first responder. And I try to tell like my family that. I talk to people who, you know what I mean, I consider, you know, somebody I keep close to the heart. And I'm like, be your own first responder. And when I say that, people were like, what are you talking about? And, you know, I got to break it down to them. So that's what I'm finna do in this video. Now, be your own first responder means that, take me as example. I'm the head of my household. I'm the man of my house. I got my wife, my kids, and whatnot. So I'm the head of the household. I'm what I would like to call is the protector of the family. You know what I mean? So as the protector of the family, as the head of the house, I would like, my job is to properly train my family on how to protect themselves as well, how to protect us as a family. You know what I mean? It really makes no sense for me to buy all of these guns, to do all this shooting that I do personally at the gun range, but I'm the only one in the house that knows how to shoot. I'm the only one in the house that knows how to clear malfunction. I'm the only one in the house that knows how to load a magazine. I'm the only one in the house that knows how to bust the AR. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. So this is why I tell people, men, women, whoever's the head of the household, whoever, you know what I mean, it is, to train yourself, but don't forget to train your family. You know what I mean? My 13-year-old loves shooting guns. He goes to the range with me. We bust off guns all the time. He's into BB guns, pellet guns, airsoft, CO2s. He's into all that. He's just into that whole vibe. And it's probably because his dad is into it. And you know what I mean? I respect that. So any chance that I get, I try to put a little bit of knowledge into his head about, hey, you know what I mean? This is how you field strip the Glock, or you know, Glock-like guns. This is how you load a magazine. This is how you shoot. This is how you clear malfunction. This is how you hold the gun. This is how you just be safe with guns in general. You know what I mean? You have to train your family that way because, and I'm not like a doomsday prepper or anything like that, but as the man of the house, I believe that it's my job to make sure that everybody is equipped to handle a variety of firearms. Maybe it might be one specific kind of firearm. Maybe you can only do handguns. That's fine. You'll be my handgun guy. You know what I mean? But you have to train your family because if say everything goes to crap tomorrow and somebody trying to break into your house, take your goods or do something, are you gonna call the police? Because calling the police in a worldwide or citywide crisis is 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna get there in time to help you. So when I say be your own first responder, and when you know these guys that I listen to say be your own first responder, what it means is don't depend on anybody else. You have to be the one that if somebody comes knocking and they want to take something that's not theirs, that belongs to you, that you have to handle the situation. You have to be prepared to handle the situation. So that means that you should have weaponry, some type of combat training, something to where you could defend your family if need be. Hopefully you never have to. Hopefully I never have to defend my family and my household. Hopefully I don't. I pray that I don't. You know what I mean? But if I have to, I can do it. You know what I mean? If my wife has to bust a gun, she can do it. If my 13-year-old son has to bust a gun, he can do it. My 16-year-old, my 14-year-old, if they have to shoot, they can do it. And this is what I'm saying by you can't be the only one trained in the house. What if I'm at work and something goes down before I get back? You know what I mean? They call me, something's happening, we need you to get home, and I'm all the way, 20 miles away, and I got to get back. They have to be able to protect themselves. And as the household, as the head of the household, you have to train your family to be able to handle those type of situations. Granted, nobody is going to be 100% comfortable in a self-defense situation, but as long as you have some form of training, it should hopefully kick in to where you're somewhat comfortable and able to defend yourself in those situations. I always say that you should have 3 types of firearms. You should have a shotgun, and that's basically to clear a room if need be. And these are my reasons. You can have your own or not have one at all. A rifle, and that's for, kind of long range, being able to defend yourself, or, just something of a bigger caliber that might knock a limb off or two if you hit them in the right spot. And a pistol, and that's for close range, or just short combat, to where you can get to a firearm, and it's a small firearm that you can carry around, not have to worry about clunking it off the wall or something like that. You know what I mean? So you should have those 3 type of firearms. If you can't get all 3, that's understandable. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna go home defense, you might want the shotgun, you might want a pistol. If you're gonna go, carry option, something that you keep on your person at all times or most times, then of course you're gonna want a handgun. But there is AR style rifles that are classified as handguns, depending on how short the barrel is, or the folding stock, or whatever. So definitely you should have one, if not all 3 of those options available in your home for self-defense. Like I said, train everybody in those. Another thing that you should do is have plenty of magazines and ammunition. Because one thing that I see a lot of people do is, they buy tons and tons and tons and tons of ammunition. That's great. Buy all the ammunition you can buy, you know what I mean? But what's the point of having 10,000 rounds of ammunition if you got 2 guns and 4 magazines? You know what I mean? You need more magazines. I try to buy at least 5 to, depending on what gun it is, I try to buy a whole bunch of magazines. You know what I mean? I at least want 5 magazines for every gun that I carry, or every gun that I have. You know what I mean? So that gives me options. If you have one gun that holds, say I got the Canon TP9SFX, I got that, it holds 20 rounds per mag. So I got 5 magazines, I got 100 rounds. You know what I mean? So think about that. You know what I mean? Grab magazines. Don't just stock up on ammo, or vice versa. Don't just stock up on magazines when you ain't got no ammo. You know what I mean? If you can get to ammo, get some ammo, because it just doesn't make any sense to buy one and not have the other. Train with your firearms. And I'm not saying that to where you have to train with every one of your firearms. If you got a bunch of handguns, and you should really train often with your EDC. If you carry, you should train often with that. You should train with how to clear malfunctions in most guns. So if I'm clearing a malfunction in one of my guns, then it should be somewhat similar to be able to clear that malfunction in another gun of that's similar type. So if I got a handgun, I should be able to clear handgun malfunctions, which is training with one gun. And I'm not saying that guns aren't different, handguns aren't different, and you only have to train with that one. No. But I'm saying, as consistent training with one gun will prepare you even more to clearing malfunctions with another gun. So definitely think about that and work on that. Another thing that you need to do is some type of hand-to-hand combat, some type of self-defense training. Now, I'm not saying you got to go all the time, but I'm saying once a month, twice a month, something like that, to where you find a local spot to do some self-defense training. I understand we in Corona, we in COVID. You might not want to be getting that close, 6 feet. You want to, social distance. I understand that, you know what I mean? But you need to have some type of combat training when, say, just in case you can't get to the weapon at that time. And you need, 5-10 seconds to, flip somebody or drop somebody or nut grab somebody, so you can get to a weapon. You know what I mean? Because not all the time with everybody does that training kick in, or if you don't have training, does it kick in? You know what I mean? You got to have that fight or flight where either you going to lay down or you going to scrap and do whatever you got to do to get to wherever you got to get to and to get out of the situation. So definitely try to invest and check out some self-defense courses as well as some hand-to-hand combat training. All right, Guns family. So I feel like I gave y'all a bunch of information, or at least a decent amount of information. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some homework. And I don't mean anything where you gotta turn anything in, but I'm just saying you should make a little checklist of these few things that you should do. First thing is buy a firearm if you don't have one, because it's gonna be kind of hard to defend and protect yourself and your family if you don't have a firearm. You know what I mean? That's probably one of the major things on the list. Second thing for homework is to train with that firearm. If it's your first firearm, you're not familiar with firearms, get some training. Don't just buy any firearm either. Talk to somebody that you trust who knows a little bit about firearms. Go to a gun range, try to shoot a variety of different firearms. Go to your local gun store, see if they can let you hold and test out a few different type of firearms so you know what you are comfortable with and how just something that you are familiar with or something that you think that you might like. Third thing on the list, I think we're on number 3. Third thing on the list is train your family. Once you get comfortable, train your family. If you can take your family to a self-defense course, to a firearms training course, do that, because it's only going to help. You know what I mean? I'm looking into myself and to get into some firearms training courses because, yeah, I'm into firearms, but I don't know everything. You know what I mean? There's some things that I would like to learn how to do. So I'm definitely looking into some firearms training. Definitely get that for yourself and your family. But for the most part, that's it. I just wanted to put out this information because I feel that, I love all y'all, I rock with y'all, as long as y'all rocking with me, and even if you ain't no hard blood, no hard feelings or whatever. But I want to see everybody safe out there because I know times is changing, things is getting a little raunchy out there in the world, and I want everybody who watching my channel and who ain't watching my channel to be protected. Like I said, I love guns, I love everything about guns. They are a tool that can save your life, and everybody should be able to utilize them. I tell a lot of people that I deal with on a daily basis or that I see, periodically, I tell them, yo, get a gun, train yourself with these guns, you know what I mean? Don't just buy a gun, make it a safe queen, and by safe queen, for y'all that don't know, it means you just buy a gun and it sits in the safe collecting dust and you never really train with it or shoot it or learn that weapon or do anything with that weapon. Don't be that person, you know what I mean? You never know when it can go down. You can't ever depend on anybody else to protect your family. If it goes down, you can't go to your neighbor house and say, yo, bro, I need you to protect me, because it's going down and I ain't got no guns. I know you got a gun or two. Could you protect us? You cannot depend on anyone else. You have to be your own first responder. You have to be the one to protect your family and to protect yourself and your goods if into protecting your goods if that's what you want to do, or somebody's trying to invade your home and take your property. You have to be the one to do it. You know what I mean? Just think about this scenario and then we're going to get out of here because it's hot up in here in the man cave or the gun room. I ain't came up with a name with it yet, but I'm working on it. But just picture this scenario and let's get out of here. It's in the middle of the night. Your significant other laying in bed, and you hear something that sounds like somebody broke into your house. All right? Now, what I would do personally, I'm going to get the strap, one or two of them. I'm probably get the AR and I'm gonna get a handgun. I'm gonna give a handgun to my wife, and I'm gonna tell her, stay in the room or go in one of my kids' rooms, call the police. All right? Now, I'm gonna find me a spot to where I think that I can get the drop on the person who's broken into my house. So these are, like I said, so somebody's breaking in my house at this time. I don't have the time to wait for 911 to come. Regardless of how close they are, how far they are, I have to be ready to meet this person's force head on if they have a firearm. I can't wait. I can't just lay in my bed and or hide in the closet and say, oh, let's pray that the police get here before this person comes in my room or comes in my kids' rooms and threaten my kids or my family. I can't wait. You know what I mean? I have to be the first responder. I have to be that force that's gonna take out and do whatever I gotta do to make sure everybody in my house is gonna be safe. And you should be that too. So the only way, or one of the ways to start doing that is to get a firearm. Get a firearm, exercise your Second Amendment rights. Don't let these rights just fall by the wayside because you feel, oh, I'll never need a gun. You never know, never say never. You know what I mean? But it's Urban Gun Reviews. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that easily by clicking on the AR-15 in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you're not following me on all my social media sites, you can do that by clicking all the links in the description. And as always, gun family, stay blessed, stay strapped.